Some people can watch a heartbreaking movie and barely react. Others hear a stranger tell their story and suddenly feel tears forming. Maybe that's you. Maybe you've cried during a conversation, a song, a memory, a moment nobody else seemed affected by. And maybe you've wondered the following: why am I like this? Why do I feel everything so deeply for years? Many people who cry easily have been told the same thing: you're too sensitive, too emotional, too fragile. But what if that's completely wrong? What if crying easily isn't a weakness, but a clue about the way your mind experiences emotions? Because beneath every tear, there is often something deeper than sadness. And sometimes, the people who cry the easiest are the people carrying the most invisible emotional depth. Let's explore the hidden psychology behind people who cry easily. 1. They don't just see emotions, they absorb them. Most people experience emotions, some people absorb them. When an emotionally sensitive person watches someone suffer, they don't simply understand it, they feel it. A touching story, a meaningful goodbye, a moment of unexpected kindness. What seems small to one person can feel enormous to another. Psychologists have long recognized that people differ in emotional sensitivity. Some nervous systems react more strongly to emotional information. This doesn't mean they're weak, it means they're deeply responsive. The world reaches them differently, and because they feel more, they often cry more. Not because they're fragile, but because their emotional volume is turned up higher than most. 2. They are often deeply empathetic. There is a difference between seeing pain and emotionally stepping into it. People who cry easily are often highly empathetic. They don't just hear someone's story, they imagine living it. They don't just witness suffering, part of them experiences it. This is why they may cry during documentaries, feel emotional reading comments online, or become overwhelmed by someone else's grief. Their tears are not always about themselves. Sometimes, their tears are a reflection of compassion, and in a world where emotional disconnection is common, that ability is more valuable than many people realize. 3. Their tears are often the result of honest emotions. Many people become skilled at hiding what they feel. They smile through heartbreak, laugh through anxiety, pretend they're fine. People who cry easily often struggle to disconnect from what they're feeling in the moment. Their emotions rise to the surface more quickly. And while that can sometimes feel embarrassing, it can also be a sign of emotional honesty, because emotions that are acknowledged tend to move. Emotions that are buried often stay. Psychology doesn't suggest that crying is always healthy, but it does suggest that constantly suppressing emotion comes with its own cost. Sometimes tears are not losing control. Sometimes tears are what happens when you stop fighting what you feel. 4. Some of those tears may be carrying years of emotional weight. Not every tear belongs to the present moment. Sometimes, a small event touches something much older, a memory, a loss, a disappointment, an emotional wound that never fully healed. Many emotionally sensitive people become experts at carrying invisible weight. They keep going, keep functioning, keep showing up, while quietly carrying stress nobody sees. Then one day, a seemingly small moment breaks through the surface, and suddenly the tears arrive, not because the moment was small, but because the emotional load was never small. The tear you see today may have started years ago. 5. They notice things other people miss. Emotionally sensitive people often pick up details others overlook. A change in someone's voice, a forced smile, an uncomfortable silence, a sadness hidden behind a joke. Their attention naturally moves toward emotional information. And because they absorb more emotional signals, they experience stronger emotional reactions. This heightened awareness can feel exhausting, but it also allows them to understand people in ways others cannot. Many emotionally intelligent people aren't the loudest people in the room. They're often the ones quietly noticing everything. 6. They often mistake sensitivity for weakness. This may be one of the most painful parts. Many people who cry easily spend years criticizing themselves. They compare themselves to emotionally reserved people. They wonder why they can't be tougher, stronger, more composed. But emotional suppression and emotional strength are not the same thing. Someone can appear calm while emotionally disconnected, and someone can cry while being incredibly resilient. The truth is, Many emotionally sensitive people continue showing up every day while carrying emotional experiences most people never see. That requires strength, not weakness. Strength isn't the absence of emotion. Sometimes strength is feeling deeply and continuing anyway. 7. Their tears may be a sign they are still connected to themselves. Tears are one of the most human experiences we have. People cry from sadness, relief, gratitude, love, healing, even joy. For emotionally sensitive people, tears are often a reminder that their emotional world is still alive, that they haven't become numb, that they haven't completely disconnected from themselves. And in a world that constantly encourages emotional avoidance, that connection matters. Because healing doesn't begin when we stop feeling. It begins when we learn how to understand what we're feeling. The world often teaches people to hide emotion, to stay composed, to never let anyone see them cry. But psychology suggests something important. The ability to feel deeply is not a flaw, it's not a weakness, and it's not something you need to apologize for. People who cry easily are often carrying qualities the world desperately needs more of: empathy, compassion, emotional awareness, human connection. So if you've ever felt embarrassed by your tears, remember this: your tears are not proof that you're weak. Sometimes they are proof that you still have the courage to feel, and in many ways, that may be one of the strongest things a person can do. If this video resonated with you, comment, "I feel deeply," and subscribe to Inner Patterns for more emotional psychology and self-awareness videos.